What up, what up? This is Ray Grand, your host, and you're listening to The Ray Grand Show, where we talk about redefining a disability and overcoming. I've been paralyzed from 22 years from bacterial spinal meningitis. I know a few things. That's right. Thank you for listening, and let's get to it. Welcome. This is the Ray Grand Show. Good day, people. We have a special guest. Her name is Keisha Greaves. How are you, Keisha?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. This is a special guest. I'm super excited to have her today because she is an inspiration. And it's so funny because I said, I don't like the word inspiration. And and the reason sometimes I don't like the word inspiration is because I don't know why someone is calling me inspiration. Sometimes when I don't connect with it, it just kind of flies over my head. However, Keisha is a super inspiration. She does so much in the community, is recognized as a strong African brown woman who is achieving and doing great things.
Oh, thank you.
No, this is all facts. I'm stating facts here. I'm stating all facts. So before let me stop. So who is Keisha? Let's tell the world, who is Keisha?
Yes, well, I am Keisha. I am 34 years old, and I was born and raised in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I live with something called limb-girdle muscular dystrophy.
Okay, and so. And so deeper than that, because when I spoke to you, I know that's your condition, but there's so much more to you. As I was reading to your story and what you're doing in the community. So tell me more about your life and how many people you impacted, like through your story and through what happened.
Okay, so a little background about me is that I was actually diagnosed with muscular dystrophy in my early 20s when I was actually in graduate school receiving my master's degree, where it just kind of came out of nowhere. I would just be walking, my leg would honestly just kind of just give out on me, repeatedly falling like on the floor. I would be with family, friends, and I was like kind of unable to get myself back up, which was strange. Yeah. So I'm like, what's up with that? But I'm just like kind of brushed it off. I'm like, oh, maybe I just need to lose some weight, go exercise, no big deal. But it just kept happening over and over. And it was like my mom and sister that was like, I think you need to go to a doctor. Something's not right. So I'm like, all right, still not thinking anything of it, still brushing it off. So my mom was like, let's go see an orthopedic out here in Boston at Tufts Medical Center. Mm-hmm. So we go see the orthopedic. And so we're in there. And I always remember the two doctors came in and they just kind of looked like they had me like raise my right leg and like the leg would not like just go up. It was just kind of like still. Like they even looked at each other like, I think you need to go see a neurologist. I'm like, all right, still like not thinking anything of it. I'm like, this is so dramatic. Let's go see the neurologist.
So what's that?
Exactly. So we go see the neurologist, and then that's when they started doing all these things. I got MRI, EKG, muscle biopsy, where they took a piece of muscle out of my right leg, and they just so many blood work, and I'm just like blah blah blah. So then they finally was like, she was like, you have muscular dystrophy, and I'm like, I never heard of that in my life. Nobody in my family seems to have it. So I'm like, what is she talking about? I'm thinking like maybe she just, I'm like, what? So then of course, we get symptoms or doctors, we start looking up things online. We Google it. And so I'm like, oh my God, like there's no cure for this. Like, what does my future hold? Like, what's going on? Yeah. But although she told me I have muscular dystrophy, it was like, I still wasn't like acknowledging a peer. Like every time I went back to the doctors, it's like, I was thinking maybe she was going to say, oh, we made a mistake. Like you don't have that. And, but it just, although she was telling me that's what I had, it's like, I wasn't like, I'm like, she don't know what she's talking about. So I totally was shutting out family and friends. I wasn't really talking, to them, letting them know what was going on. I wasn't letting friends know what's going on. They would ask me if I wanted to go out. I'll be like, no, not tonight, etc. But, I was just kind of like in denial. Even when I went on job interviews, they would kind of tell me like, oh, I sprained my ankle or I got into a car accident. Like I would say those type of things instead of just acknowledging the fact that I have muscular dystrophy. So that's how much in denial I was. So it's like fast forward a few years later, I started writing my first blog on Tumblr where I was actually writing out my story.
Yeah.
about, my symptoms and that how I have muscular dystrophy. And it wasn't until like that moment I wrote it out loud and I'm like, wow, I have muscular dystrophy. It's like that. It took that moment. It's like not what the doctors were saying. It's like never mind what they were saying. Never mind the blood work, all those testing. It was like me say like writing it. And I'm like, oh wow. So it took some time. And don't get me wrong, I still have my days. I tell people it's like, yeah, maybe all cheery and happy, but it's like all I can do is take it day by day. So I know I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I have a passion for fashion because I got my undergrad in fashion design and merchandising.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm a true believer in things happen for a reason. So that's when I was like, maybe this is a way for me to start my business, with a way to also share my story. Cause I always like wearing different graphic tees, different like logos, like funky print fonts. So then I was like, you know what? I want to make something inspiring, something motivated. And I knew I wanted something with the word chronic in it for chronic illnesses, but I didn't know how I wanted to incorporate that. So I honestly was just lying down in my bed one night and I thought girls chronically rock. And then that's when the name came about. That's when the business I launched on Etsy at first, Girls Chronically Rock. And then I just started making different logos, creating different things. Like I have Trust Your Dopeness, which I love, where I created that to say, like, trust and believe in yourself, trust your dopeness.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
exactly. So I just have like different inspirational quotes on the t shirt line. But there's so much more I want to do beyond t shirts. I'm looking to make an adaptive clothing collection under the Girls Chronically Rock umbrella,
Yes,
to make clothes, more functional for us for people with disabilities because it takes us a lot of time, to get dressed on a regular basis. People don't understand that. So my goal is to get, Girls Chronically Rock adaptive clothing line. I'm looking to get it into department stores, and I'm looking to make it into an empire.
Amen. See, that's why I said she's a truly inspiration. It reminds me of my entrepreneurial ventures and tenacity. Um, I want to. There's a secret spot that you said. So help me. I want to know as well, and I'm sure the listeners want to know as well. When you said, uh, I'm paraphrasing. Sometimes it's not easy, to get up, and literally from when you was going to grad school, there was a time where it was difficult for you to get up, figuratively and literally. And so now, when you have those days today, or whenever, well, not today or any day, what motivates you, inspires you, to keep going and to uh, uh, be a voice in the community, and make a difference. Like what is that secret sauce, and like what is that in
Secret sauce.
between, that in between? Because there's times, it's not like, I think with everybody, there's times where they're like, okay, why am I doing this, um and what's the reason. Well, you don't have to give me the secret sauce, but like, you know what I mean? But like, what is that? Like, what is driving you, um, to continue the entrepreneurial ventures, to continue inspiring people, continue to, you finished your master's, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, master's, you're college educated. Like, come on, like, why? What is Keisha's why?
Yeah, so I guess, well, going back to the masters, I am fortunate that I'm glad I started when I did because it's like that's when everything started happening with the symptoms of me falling, trying to figure out what was going on with my body, figuring out I had muscular dystrophy. So I'm fortunate that I went to school when I did because it's like my disease has progressed over the years. Whereas now I'm in a wheelchair, and when I was first diagnosed, I used to be able to just walk. Like, of course, you could still see I walk with a limb, but I used to walk with like a cane. And then years it just got to get progress, which the neurologist did say it would. But it's like now I'm in a wheelchair, like I'm still able to get up and use my walker, but it's like nothing like I used to before. So I'm glad that I was able to finish my master's and got that over with, when I did, because it's like, who's to say if I was where I'm at now, if I would have been like, oh, that might be too much,
Yeah.
although everyone does it, so I can't really say that. But what keeps me going, and just like you said, I don't really like to use the word inspired, or because I'm just like, I'm not Oprah. But
Yeah.
what keeps me going honestly is like people like yourself and other messages I get like on Facebook where I'm seeing people in my same situation
Yeah.
in a wheelchair, have a disability, and I'm like, look at them, they striving, they're going. That's inspiration and motivation for me because I'm like, they're going, they're not letting anything stop them. And then when I get like messages on like Instagram and Facebook where they're like, oh my God, like you're an inspiration, you inspired me, or I have muscular dystrophy too, my son has it. What type do you have? Like, I love your stuff. And I'm just like, oh, because it's like, you really sometimes like you doubt yourself and like people like actually paying attention. Like they know about Girls Chronically Rock, and it's like that just keeps me going and just like kind of warms my heart and just makes me think of more creative design ideas to add onto the website and more different things to make my customers and followers happy. So those kind of things, when I get those messages and emails, I'm like, oh my God, like, sometimes it brings tears to my eyes. But another thing that honestly keeps me going when I have a bad day, like I tell people when I like, is, I wake up each day, you never know what the body's going to feel like. Some days my body's tired. Some day my body may feel like it wants to fall down. And then I have to call EMTs to get help. But one thing I tell people, I'm like, my TV shows is what keeps me sane. Like, I watch like everything. Like, I watch from Wendy Williams. I'm obsessed with her. I don't care what. I know some people don't, but I love Wendy. Like,
How you doing? How you doing?
she keeps me entertained. Like, she's fun. And then I like to watch a lot of the realities, like Love and Hip Hop. I watch Florida Mashore. I watch like other like shows. Like, I love to watch like 911. So it's like I have a range, and then I will turn around and still watch the Disney Channel.
That's
So
cool.
it's like those type of shows. It's like just watching that, and also looking forward to watching like reality, like on TV. It's like that's entertaining to me, and that's what I tell people. That's what really keeps me sane is like looking forward to watching my shows, whether it's laughing or whatever it is. It's like Wendy Williams definitely keeps me entertained.
No, I love that. I love that you said you saw other people persevering, because even me, like that's what really got me like you said, warm my heart and bring tears to my eyes, is the people saying, hey Ray, I saw your video in your podcast, but not people that are going through similar situations.
Yeah.
Finding that the tribe, the community, is like, wow. And then watching them do what they're doing, it's super, super, super motivating. And then also, like you said, having fun is super important.
Yes.
And laughing and having fun. My wife helps me with that. It's crazy because now I'm
Yeah.
a lot more fun now. But before I was so super driven and just like everything is so business, but I'm like completely totally different person.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I like to have fun. It's funny that the VR, I'm getting into the VR now, virtual reality games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I heard of those, but I never played them.
oh, it's super, super fun. And then you can like, it's like you're in it, like in the game, like you can feel it.
Yeah, I think that was on an episode of Black Mirror. Do you
Well,
watch
I
the
don't
show
watch
Black
too much
Mirror on Netflix?
TV.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the
Yes, you're
TV
missing
that
out
I
on
do
that.
watch, let's say, so we watch movies. I watch movies. So I
Okay.
would watch Queen Sugar.
Oh, okay. Yes, I watched that.
Yeah. And then the show that has a lot of drama in the church.
Oh, Greenleaf.
Greenleaf.
Yes, I watched that too.
So those two shows. And
Yes, a lot of
then
drama. What about, do you watch like the haves and the have-nots? Those shows?
no, I haven't. I mean, I might have seen like half a show or something. I never
Okay, I
really
watched those too.
followed. And I think the one show me and my wife watched, we haven't caught the third season or fourth season, whatever this season. All of Us.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So those
Yeah.
are like the three shows that I watched. I can remember. Other than that, I haven't really kept up with anything. I used to watch reality shows like maybe like 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't my cup of tea. Well, it was at the time, but eventually I started to like, I can't watch it. But then again, at the time, it was funny, you know.
Yes, it's entertaining.
It gets a little other people's drama, but then I was like, I can't, I can't get into it. I couldn't get into it.
But you know what I would love to see a reality show of? I think like people like us, people with the disabilities, but like a reality show with our everyday lives, like dating, like you're married, us doing our business. I think that is what I would like to see, and I've been trying to pitch that to
They
different
did.
networks.
They did. I had a
Oh,
cast.
they
I
did.
had a
When was
casting
that?
for it. Born for Business was the name of
Oh,
it, but I don't know if it actually aired or anything.
oh,
So
I
I
didn't.
was probably I was like on the they interviewed me and everything. But I talked to it with my wife and I was like, I don't think I was going to I was willing to do it, but then I wasn't sure how my family and everything was going to
Yeah, those are things to think about because it's like you never
work
know.
into it.
Yeah.
So I think once mentally in my mind and my wife told me I decided I wasn't gonna do it in my mind. I think
Yeah.
the opportunity went, but I was willing to do it because I was saying the same thing of what you were saying.
Yes.
Like it needs to
Because it's
be
something
more,
different.
yeah, something different.
Right.
Um,
And you never know. It might still happen like a different type of show but
yeah,
I'm willing still to looking to pitch it to different networks and see what happens.
yeah, because it's great. I don't know if the show aired. I told a couple of people about it. I was when I
Uh-huh.
applied, I gave everybody I knew that was either because it was for entrepreneurs. Any entrepreneur I knew that were like in business, I sent them the flyer.
Oh,
So
okay.
whoever,
Oh.
but now I mean that was a while ago. So I think they've been shut down the casting for that. This is
Aw.
I want to say this was last summer almost. Yeah, or
Oh,
last year
okay.
summer.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
even July, August. Yeah, this is July,
Oh,
August.
okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, I never know. It might some others because I'm like, you ever watch that show Little Women of LA on like Lifetime?
what is it?
Like little, it's called Little Women. It's like with the little people. It's
I
called Little
heard.
Women of LA. They have Little Women of Atlanta, and it's like a lot of drama. It's like because they're considered too like to have a disability. The
I
little people, and
never
it's like,
heard. I
oh
heard of
my,
it, but
you
I never
have just
saw it.
Google it on YouTube when we hang up. You're gonna be, and they're in Atlanta. It's Little Women in Atlanta in a Lifetime.
No
It
way.
is hilarious. It's like drama, but it's like it's still nice to watch. It's like look at them; they're still doing their thing. They have drama, dating, but they have like emotional moments too of them like getting together and talk about their struggles and challenges.
Wow. No,
I
I
was
didn't
like,
know.
this show's hilarious. I love it. Yeah, definitely YouTube it.
Oh, I
You
definitely
probably
will.
see walk past them right in Atlanta.
Wow. No, I never knew that. That's crazy. Yeah, Atlanta's huge. Atlanta's huge. And you was in
That
Atlanta
is true.
last year, September, right? With the
Yeah, it
fashion
was
week.
September, and then the fact because I
Congratulations.
stayed in it was Buckhead at the Intercontinental, but where the fashion show was all the way in Decatur.
Okay,
So
okay.
that was a good distance. I was like, oh gosh, because I guess they changed the location last minute.
Okay, okay, okay. I see that Boston accent coming.
Ah, stop!
But I'm from Boston too, so when I hear it, I can recognize it.
I guess I never noticed it because it's like we speak it, but then when other people say it, I'm like, ah.
Yeah, at first I didn't hear it, but then I'm starting to hear certain words. But I think it's certain words that comes out for me too. Because I have like a neutral accent, but eventually it comes out.
Yes.
Yeah. So what would be your ultimate dream to see like your clothing line and where would you want it to be? Stores or like how would you envision um, your clothing line and what capacity and what reach um, will you be like content with?
I would love to get it in Target. That's my number one store because I'm obsessed with Target, of course. Who doesn't love Target? Not only that, because I'm obsessed with it, but Target recently came out with an adaptive clothing collection. They sell them online like over a year now. So I'm like, that would be so cool. It's like I already had the vision in my head, like at the store, Target's adaptive clothing line, and then Girls Chronically Rock right next to it. Like, come on, that would be awesome. Like every time I even go into the Target store, it's like I picture like Girls Chronically Rock set up on like fixtures in the table and like my signage. So Target would be my number one choice. But then I also love Macy's. Macy's, especially I can picture it like in the junior section where they have like those graphic T-shirts and different things like that would be kind of cool. Have a section of Girls Chronically Rock, and I would love to have it like in local boutique stores too, like just even right here in Boston or whether it be New York, Atlanta, wherever, and then I'm hoping to grow into more fashion shows, like LA Fashion Week, Harlem Fashion Week, back to Atlanta Fashion Week, and then hopefully do some trade shows as well. Because I heard like that's a great place to showcase your business because that's where like a lot of buyers and different stuff are at. So hopefully I'll get into some trade shows as well.
Yeah, have you ever heard of Magic Week in Las Vegas?
No, Magic Week.
Yeah, it's in February and August. I think August is the one to go
I'm
to.
gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, it's called the Magic Trade Show, and I went once,
Oh, and how did you
quite some
like it?
time ago, just to go, and man, like it has so many resources for, like say if you wanted to start a clothing line and
Oh,
looking for vendors and looking for to get your fashion embroidered, screen printing, or different
nice.
makes and cuts. They have like the whole
Oh,
world, pretty much the whole world. So you have China, you
oh,
have India, you have people, and then they have you sit in the booth. You say, "What do you want?" And say, "Okay, if you wanted this, it would cost this much," and you order this, and they would just meeting different people. And then you have another side where you have actually clothing lines that set up their booth, and they have buyers coming through stores, boutiques, and
I
um,
never
and then
heard of
they
this. I
place
have
the
to check
order
it
right
out.
then and there, and then you
Oh,
sell you
yep.
sell.
And you never know who's there. It might be a potential buyer.
Yeah, celebrities check out new
Yes.
lines, see what's going on, et cetera, et
Oh,
cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I like to dream. I always think dreaming is great and having a vision is great too. And then once you see the vision and then you start to implement the plan, I think a
yeah,
lot of times, especially for us, we don't know how. For me, I can speak for myself. There's a lot of things that I envision, I put in the work, and I don't know how it's going to happen. I just kind of, I walk into it, and then
yeah,
eventually things just happen and open
yeah,
up. I'm like,
yeah.
whoa, how'd you do this? How'd you start your podcast? How'd you write your book? How'd you do that? How'd you do? And I'm like, well, okay. First, it starts with visualizing it. Then it starts with writing it down.
Yeah.
Then it starts. Praying about it, having faith, and then
Mm.
the research, and then putting in the work, and then I get a call, and then little by little, next thing you know, it just starts building and building and building and building, and next thing you know, boom, it happens. That's been
That's
like the
true.
story of my life for
No,
a
that's
lot
yep.
of things.
Sometimes it just falls into place.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, you're doing awesome.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So the reason why I said that was because I want the same for you as well, for your line to be um, all over the world, and for brown girls to see, like, look, like no matter what the world sees you as, no, you are the best. You have power. You can do what you set your mind to do, and you can look good while doing it. And the chronically rock T-shirt,
Right,
so,
exactly. That's
and
the
be powerful
plan.
the way God made you to be, you know.
Yes,
So
definitely. Yeah, that makes sense. And I hope I'm trying to speak into existence. Girls Chronically Raw.
yeah, yeah. Now you're doing
Get
it. You're
my
doing
stuff
it.
in the stores. Yeah,
No, you're doing it. It's definitely no trying. It's definitely no trying. You're doing
I'm
it.
trying. And you know who else I've been trying to get in contact with? I've been writing to is Oprah's magazine. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
hoping one day, fingers crossed.
Oh
Yep,
yeah.
I've been
Oprah.
writing her for like, yeah, her mag. She has like an old magazine.
Yeah, my
So
wife.
I've been like writing to that. Yeah. So hopefully someone will get back to me. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oprah is she's, how can I say, she's reachable. I think Oprah is definitely reachable,
Yes.
especially now that she has her own network. I think having a TV show is probably a lot more demanding. I think
Yeah.
once you reach your audience and they like love what you do, which they do already, it's just a matter of time of when.
Yeah, that's true. When you least expect it, things will come into place. I'm realizing that.
Yes.
That makes sense. You know where else I feel like is a good networking where I would like to go is you ever been to Essence Festival in New Orleans?
No. What is it?
Essence Festival?
No, I never heard of it.
Yeah, that's always happens like July 4th weekend and that has like major celebrities and it's like Essence like all like African American and it looks like a lot of fun and it looks like a really good place to like promote your business and network and meet other celebrities.
Wow, no, I've never heard of that. I heard of the Essence Festival in New Orleans, but what is it called again?
Yeah,
Essence?
no, that one, the Essence Festival.
Oh, Essence. Oh,
Yes, Essence.
I'm
Sorry, I'm
thinking you
saying it
saying
wrong.
something else. It must be the headphones. Look at the headphones. Where are you, Ray? Come back to Earth. Hello, hello, hello. Come back
Yes,
to Earth.
Essence.
Where are you? Yes, I heard of the Essence Festival. Yes, yes,
Yes, that one looks good.
yes.
I never got to go though.
Yeah, I'll definitely go eventually. Get
Yes. And that's another thing, going to places like New Orleans, I'm like, is it accessible? Because it's such like an older place. So it's like, those are things I got to think about. Like, is this place accessible? Am I can, because I want to go out and go to the bars and, check that out. I don't want to just be in the hotel.
How do you do that? Like, how do you deal with accessibility? Because I know sometimes with me, I've learned, especially recently, to be more vocal. But before, I kind of let things slide because I'm like, oh, they'll fix it. And I realizing like, wow, if I'm not vocal, the next person that may be in a wheelchair, um, they might not help them. From a hotel,
Yeah.
from I mean, the list goes on. So, what's your process of dealing with accessibility? Like, how do you go about that?
Oh, it's definitely a process. Whenever I go out, I do have to call in advance to make sure it is accessible. Because, yes, although we may be here in Boston, some people would be surprised. Not a lot of places are accessible. So, I do like to call in advance. And I'm glad that I have now my family and friends even aware of that. Because now they would, if they want me to go someplace, they would even call in advance for me, like, oh, Keisha, I already checked, like, this place is accessible. So, and I appreciate that because it's like they're learning. Not like, oh, that's their job. I wasn't expecting them to do that, but I think just from being around me and they know now this is, if you want me to go out with you, is the place accessible? Are you going to carry me up the stairs? Like, so what's going to be the process? But I always like have to call in advance, even traveling, call the hotel. I'll be like, can I please get an accessible, bedroom? And I'm realizing, although it may be accessible, some hotel rooms still give you like the tub with the bars, like a tub to step over, and I'm realizing I have to now say I need a roll in, a walk in shower because I'm like the tub I can't step in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I need something like the roll in where I can literally walk in because I'm like the tub that's not beneficial for me. So it's like I realized over the years now when I say accessible, I got to be more specific. I got to say I need the walk in because I'm like the tub I can't shower because it's like what I mean, I can't step over the tub. That's not really doing anything for me. So it's like, yeah, it is a process, but it's like I'm learning. But this is the life I live in. That's what I have to do because I got to be comfortable wherever I go. It's like I want to be comfortable.
Absolutely. So, what's the process of when it isn't accessible and you are not accommodated? Like, how does that look like?
If I find out a place is not accessible, number one, I just don't go. I like to do my research. Even like when I went to a limb-girdle muscular dystrophy conference in September, this past September, that was awesome. It was in Chicago. And I was impressed of the accessibility they have there. Well, the accessible number one taxis that was lined up at the airport, I don't even see that here in Boston. So they was lined up ready to pick, anybody in a wheelchair up. Secondly, Chicago itself had like these taxis called open taxis where you can do it from your app, kind of like the Uber Wave and what they have now out here in Boston. I don't know if you guys have that in Atlanta. I don't think so. It's the Uber Wave where you request accessible car for someone in a wheelchair. So like they had open taxis in Chicago and it's like they were just cars after one of another. I didn't have to like wait and I would just request it and I just rolled right in. The ramp came out. I was able to roll right into the taxi. They buckled me up and I went on my way. And I thought that was just so amazing because I'm like, I don't even really get that here in Boston. So I was totally blown away and impressed by Chicago. So I'm like, see, like other places need to get like this. But like, yeah, if a place is not accessible, I just wouldn't go. Like, for instance, like I told you about my experience that I had in Atlanta Fashion Week where, it was hard to get an accessible taxi. It was kind of like, come on.
Yeah.
And so that just discouraged me because it's like, I would have liked to come back to Atlanta, number one, for Fashion Week again. And also they have a muscular dystrophy conference happening at the Westin in Buckhead. And I would have liked to come to that in July. But because of those circumstances, you see, that's like discouraging because it's like, all right, I go there, but I'm just going to stay at the hotel. Like, I want to go out. I want to go to Magic City. I want to go to the restaurants. I want to go to this place. So it's like, I don't want to just be in the hotel room. You know what I mean? So it's like, until those things change, and I did try to reach out to Keisha Bottoms, in Atlanta, just trying to let her hear my story and maybe something we can do, but no response yet. But I'm going to continue to tag her and send her emails, and hopefully maybe she'll respond. Because I mean, I love Atlanta. I want to come back, but see, because of those circumstances, it's like that was just so frustrating, And like I said, I love Atlanta. I love the food. I love the people, the nightlife. But it's like because of that now, it's like I don't want to. I'm not gonna try to make plans to go to that conference just because of those. Am I going to be able to get around? Am I going to get a taxi? Not. Am I going to get back home to the airport? Those things.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done to get
Yes.
this thing out, and that's why I definitely started this podcast, because we both have a voice and we're going to be heard and things are going to be changed because I said so.
Yeah, right.
And I put my mind to it, believe me.
Yeah.
Things happen and things move. And I really mean that, because now like there's times where I went to a place and it wasn't accessible. Well, I write a letter, I make a call. You will be hearing from me in a polite, respectable fashion, and just we need to have a conversation and to figure it out, because I understand to a degree where you may not think about somebody in a wheelchair or something, but where
That's
we live
true.
in a country where if you think about somebody in a wheelchair, you're not only thinking about someone in a wheelchair, you're thinking about a baby in a carriage. It's
Yeah.
that inclusion and that diversity. When for all, you're not just helping one person, you're helping a bevy of people, and so
Yeah.
it's only right. It's not that uh, like, oh God, I have to fix something else. I gotta get it right. No, it's helping everybody.
Yeah. I agree.
And so
I
it,
agree.
it's not about making things difficult. It's actually making things better,
Yes.
and it's very simple.
Hopefully it will change.
Oh yeah, it definitely will. It's work. I didn't realize how much work uh, needs to be done in this past 5 years of me traveling so much and noticing all these details. Like, wow, there's
Yeah.
a lot of things that um, need to be done in this country for persons with that have certain conditions and disability, and it's
Right.
not fair. It's not right.
Yeah.
And you and I that have voices in the community will continue to make a difference with our entrepreneurial ventures, our voice, and who we are as people.
Exactly. I agree. Yeah.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So if anybody wants to get in contact with Keisha, how do they do that? And if anybody listening wants to buy a t-shirt, what can they do and what's the process?
Sure. Well, I definitely have a website. Definitely check out www.girlschronicallyrock.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Girls Chronically Rock, and also on Facebook. I have a Facebook Girls Chronically Rock page, and you can feel free to reach out to me on my personal page, which is Keisha Greaves. So just type in Girls Chronically Rock, and you will definitely find it. And definitely check out the t-shirts, the different merchandise. And if there's something on there that's probably out of stock or anything, any questions you might have, definitely please feel free to reach out and send a message and send an email, because I do respond. When I do respond, sometimes it's like people are kind of shocked. Like they're like, oh, I didn't think I would get a response. And I'm like, I'm not Beyonce.
Yes.
Work
However,
a lot
however,
here.
you exude
Yeah.
excellence and you have a beautiful smile and you're positive, uplifting. So you are a star. And so when you shine, sometimes it's a little, no, seriously. So sometimes people get a little scared. Oh my God, she's shining. She's on TV.
It's hilarious.
Oh, what,
Yeah.
I get it too. I get it too. Oh, babe, like, oh my God, it's just big. And it's like, I like I am,
It's
but at the
hilarious.
same time, I'm still human,
Yes.
So
Yep. I'm like, I'm just here chilling.
chilling. We all have a light, and it's important for we let that light shine. So what would you say to that person that needs encouragement or inspiration, or needs to find their why, or wants to figure out, like, why should I keep going? They look at you and they're smiling, like, okay, I can do this. Keisha's doing it. Ray's doing it. But what would you inspiration, or what words of encouragement would you give somebody?
My words of encouragement, like I say, just do it. And I know it's more easier said than done because I know all of us deal with things differently. Like how some people may get a diagnosis and they embrace that, like, that second the doctor tells them, where some people it takes longer than others. So it's like, I kind of feel like just take your time, do things day by day. And if you have a business idea, if you want to start a podcast, do this, just do it, because before you know it, time passes by and we're only getting older. We're not getting younger. So definitely just do it. Go to your different resources on Facebook, like different business women groups, and network. And I realize that definitely helps with helping create your business idea, and just like get different ideas from different people. And before you know it, your business idea will be off the ground. So I would say just do it, keep going, and before you know it, it'll be up and running.
There you have it. Keisha Graves, strong, brown, intelligent. Girls Constantly Rock. You heard it from her. This is your host, Ray Grand. Thank you for listening. Until next time, we love you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you like something that you heard, please leave a review. One more thing.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
Love y'all.